If you found out that you can never, ever go on stage again, what would you do? I would die.
All the students jumped up in the air, hands clenched, saying, "Power to the people! Power! Power!"
They're making all the signs with their eyes, and I wouldn't come off the stage at all.
The guy became a kind of research project in a sense. I can't describe what that experience was like.
I remember walking into the room and seeing people rolling on top of each other and went, what the hell is going on here?
Hello. I am back. Face to Face is back. Stop the press. Call the media. Call out the troops. I am back after a little hiatus. And it's good to be back because a few have been asking about the show and what's happening with it. What has happened is that I've changed the platform. I'm now on YouTube. And the reason for that is that I can, of course, do more programs free on that channel, but also people, my international audience. Yes, I have an international audience. Some people do not know what we look like. So what we'll be doing on YouTube now is I'll be having pictures of the people who I'm interviewing, so people can see who they are, who these voices belong to. Also, for you, those of you who do not know me or what I look like, here I am. And I'm very sorry I'm not available. Okay, so we're going to move on to the first show of 2015 and the first show of this season of Face to Face. This year, 2015, Derek Walcott, Caribbean legend, has turned 85. And a company called Monkey Mountain, of course, from Juma Monkey Mountain, is honoring him with a season of his plays for this year called Playing Walcott. And the person behind that is somebody who has been here on this show, I believe, twice before. This is a third appearance on Face to Face, Miss Brenda Hughes. Brenda Hughes is the producer of Playing Walcott, and the person you heard laughing just on the background. All right. With me also is somebody who was also here before, Christine Johnston, who is the director of the first play of the season, which we'll hear about from Brenda shortly. And also the person who you're not hearing right now is a virgin among us, Carol LaChapelle. It's her first time on the show. All right, so she's a virgin to the show. All right, I hope you enjoy this experience, Carol. Yeah. Okay, so I want to start with Brenda first. I have other questions to ask Christina. We have a lot of questions for you, Christina. So hold on.
Okay.
But I want to go to Brenda first and say welcome back to Face to Face.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. And tell us a bit more about Playing Walcott, Monkey Mountain, and what you're doing.
Playing Walcott actually was an idea that I had sometime last year. The idea actually was for me to coerce some people into having a series, and it was to have been called A Year of Playing Walcott. But when I amassed the committee, somehow I got vetoed out, and the rest of the committee decided it should be just Playing Walcott, which is all right. I mean, it's Playing Walcott, it's a pun, and Walcott loves his puns. So then we decided we had to come up with a name for this company, and we had to make it a non-profit, a registered non-profit company. And we brainstormed, and the idea came up, Monkey Mountain, based on Walcott's masterpiece or opus, A Dream on Monkey Mountain. So that's how Playing Walcott and Monkey Mountain have come about. The selection of the plays, the first play is Tija and His Brothers. That play was not one of the originals selected, but it became the first play by a series of mishaps, and it's a good thing too, I think. The second play is called Beef No Chicken, and the third is O Babylon.
When will these be running, actually?
Yes, well, Tija and His Brothers start this month, May. It starts on the 20th of May. It's a Thursday, and it runs for 4 days, but we're planning 7 shows during the course of those 4 days. So we'll be working flat out.
Yep.
Beef No Chicken, is scheduled for July, and O Babylon for November 2015.
All right, I'm going to come back to you and those productions, especially Tisha and his brothers. I want to run across to Christine Johnston. Christine Johnston,
Yes,
for those of you all who know, is a founding member of the Baggers Company,
Baggers
correct, is
Company,
right?
yes.
And she is a former president of Drama
President
Association
of
of Trinidad and
NDAT,
Tobago, of NDAT. And she also disappeared for 6 years.
Yes, I did.
Christine, where you was?
I was away from the theatre. Let's put it that way.
Right, I
Yes.
left the theatre for 3 years. And
Yes.
those 3 years were just enough for me. I had to
Right.
come back. you
Yeah,
know?
it was
I have a
it was
reason, but
tough.
6 years?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But when I left, I was left feeling a little, kind of. I was burnt out, to be honest.
Okay.
I'd been going constantly. I was running my own company. I'd left Queen's Hall to do this, so I was doing it full time. And then the whole theatre scene at that time really didn't appeal to me. It was not that I have anything, as I always say, against a good comedy. I have nothing against comedies and stuff. It's not the work that I was inclined to do necessarily, but had to do to survive. And so there was a kind of unease and a discomfort with that situation. And then at that point, the central bank, when I had left as well, the central bank had closed and there were very few venues available and everybody was scrambling. And I said, you see this? I've had enough for a while. And I remember Patrick Johnstone had approached me some years before because he wanted me to write copy. Because I used to write all of Bagas's ads, and he always used to tell me, you have a creative flair and this kind of thing. So
who's Patrick Johnstone?
He's the CEO of Publicis Caribbean Limited, where I've been working for the last 6 years.
It comes out now. She defected.
Yes, I am into advertising.
Right.
But it really was a nice choice as well, because I still had an opportunity to explore my creativity and get paid, thank God.
On a monthly basis, guaranteed in a way.
So
I can tell you about, I work in advertising as well, and sometimes you get in a kind of a comfortable space.
Yeah.
I do know some people, I wouldn't call his name, but we used to do a theatre thing, very young and promising company the person had, and then they got into advertising, and that ended. The company died with this person's involvement in doing the same thing we do.
Right.
At another company. I'll tell you who he is after we thing, right? Right after. But what has caused this resurrection of you coming back out? What has caused that?
Well, I mean, it was never going to be a complete divorce. It was kind of like a separation. Because of course my first love is the theatre.
Okay.
I just had to. I had a lot of things to settle, including bills, I should mention.
Okay. I know about that.
Because running a theatre company, and I was running it, for a while, I amassed quite a significant debt.
Okay.
So part of the
D-E-B-T or D-E-A-T-H? Okay.
Close to each.
Moving on. Yes.
But what happened is that so part of my 6 years was also paying that off.
Okay.
And middle of last year, so I was finally debt free.
Okay.
And of course considered.
Now she wants to go back into
You know what I mean?
What does she?
You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard to fight it off. But yes, exactly.
Okay.
You know, once I got rid of that kind of burden as well, now I felt free to explore and go back in, hopefully more carefully. But
right. So was it a case of waking up one morning and saying, "Hey, I want to do a play"? Brenda, what you doing? How did you get involved in Tisha?
Actually, I got the call out to the blue.
Right.
When was it? It was late last year. I considered doing an original production, which I wouldn't talk about here necessarily, but I'm doing it later on this year.
Right.
Something that I've actually written and having music composed for and stuff, but that's later on this year. And that happened like around October, November last year, and things were starting to go into place. So that was how I was gradually going to take the kind of year to get back into the saddle. And lo and behold, in January I get a call. I think it's late January I got a call. Are you interested in directing Tisha and his brothers? Oh, are you kidding me? And then I had to make a decision because again, getting back into it, if I wanted to put my project on the back burner and take this on. But it really was no contest.
Was a
No
no-brainer?
contest. No.
So
So I just took a couple of days and called her back and told her, yes, of course, I would be honored.
Okay, 'cause I know I'm a frightened Friday at times, and if I took a hiatus like that and I'm going to come back, and somebody tells me to do Derek Walcott, Tisha and his brothers, I'll say, you're crazy. I mean, I'm not coming back, you know. So, what was your thought in that regard?
No, well, the thing is, it is one of my favorite Walcott plays. It is a play I absolutely adore from way back.
Okay.
I mean, I remember going and seeing it in Naparima Bowl when John Isaacs had directed and being absolutely enthralled.
Okay.
I love the play. I love the words in it. I love the magic. I love the mastery of the way he handles the characters, everything. I really like the play.
Okay.
So it really was, I mean, putting something on the back burner to do it. I mean, this is the only thing I would have possibly considered. Putting it on,
Nice.
doing.
Okay, so I want to jump to Carol now, who is first time here in Face to Face. And Carol, I have never worked with you.
No.
I don't know why. I could dance in a Carol.
And we can find out.
Okay, that's a thing you know. All right, I could dance.
Trust but verify.
So you are in Tisha and his brothers. You are the choreographer, if I'm
That's correct.
Okay. Before I talk about but you are working, if I'm correct, with young bodies, young talents, non-dancers, if I may be so brave to say, in some cases.
Yeah, we don't want to tell everybody though.
Okay, not non-dancers, but
They're
not
not
so.
going to look like non-dancers when
Okay,
I'm
not
through with
okay.
them.
I mean, I should say non-dancers, but they're not a dance
I
experience.
totally hear you.
Okay, how is this going for you? I know you are very experienced in this field. of
Thank
dance
God
and
for that.
teaching. So how is this with these young buds?
Actually, that's one of the benefits of doing a show at this stage, meaning again, as well as, as an experienced person, because it takes all your experience to make things happen the way you want them to. So again, in theatre, starting at Walcott, normal, actors, no problem. Actors must dance, pardon? I don't think so. So it's a lot of years of knowing how to make an actor move well. I have a lot of people who will testify that Carol could make anybody dance,
Okay.
Some good, some bad, but
But to move and look something presentable.
yeah.
Okay.
I can know people that she couldn't make.
Oh, not possible, not possible. No, not possible. Always
But
better than
I'm
you
not gonna
started.
say- I'm not gonna
She's not going to call names, right?
But this is not your first Tisha, if I'm correct.
No, it's not. Christine mentioned Naparima and John
Yeah,
Isaac. And doing this, of course, reminds me of John, who
Yeah.
our public must remember
Yes,
as
of course.
Trikanal. And
Yes.
for me, John was with Benny Gomes, one of the first boys to walk into my dancing studio to take dance classes, which was amazing 100 years ago. So
Yes.
that boy became the director.
Oh, I thought that Benny Gomez was a dancer. Oh, I mean
He
John.
danced in class. Yes.
Yes.
John and Benny.
Benny?
Benny Holmes.
Hello.
Benny used to dance.
We talking Tisha.
My God.
Yes, both of them.
I have any videos of that. Okay,
Oh.
of course. At the time, you didn't have to
Tisha.
at the time.
That's blackmail. If
Wow.
you think about Derek.
Benny dancing. All right. Okay. So times have changed. How do you see then to now, having worked on Walcott at that time, because you worked on, and also you, Brenda, as well, have worked
Oh,
on
yeah.
Brenda. Both of you all have worked on this before, correct?
Not me, not.
But you have
This is
seen
my
it.
first vision.
You have seen it
Yes.
and you have worked on it in
Yes,
the past.
before.
From
Well-
then to now, and the atmosphere, the culture, and right now, and all of that, how you will see it? Any different, same, better, worse?
For
what?
me, it's part of my life. The journey continues. As simple as that. What does that mean? That in every show, there is a certain essence aspect that I go for. Obviously, that is dictated by the content of the show. So having the opportunity to rework or do again is wonderful. And I'm really lucky. I mean, blessed really, because that's happened to me so many times in my life. And this, Brenda having said, and Monkey Mountain asking for me to do it, I said, yes, like Christine, this I will do. Because, yes, I choreographed it before, but guess what? Now I know so much more.
Okay.
Now I have a group of young bodies. That's how we
Young
started,
bodies.
right?
Young
Different,
bodies.
not Errol Jones. It wasn't Errol Jones, huh?
I know.
But young bodies to work with, behave,
Yes.
to work with, and that makes
You're out
it.
for blood.
And that makes
yeah.
it really not a challenge, exciting, fun
Yeah.
for me. What they can't understand is the excitement that a whole new group of people to
That's
manipulate, to
Yeah.
mold,
Yeah.
and working creatively is what I do best.
Okay, nice. Brenda, and you first time producer of this show that you have seen before, and they said, I want to do this show. But I must
No,
say,
that's not how it happened.
okay, but Brenda, I have to say you are a brave woman. That is what I tell you. Is it gumption?
No, it's stupid. Stupid.
Because
I am applauding Brenda
Yeah.
and Monkey Mountain
yes,
for
when you
taking the
spoke to
challenge.
me
Yeah.
last year about your idea, and I said, okay, but hearing the idea then, and then seeing what's happening now, it's two different things. And this is a bigger thing than I had seen then. Bigger.
Well, now you're frightened.
So how is this for you as producer of Monkey Mountain?
Nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I can't sleep. And it's what? I haven't been able to sleep for about it's 2 weeks now, and we have 2 weeks to go before the show. Can't eat. I have befriended Appleton.
That's a good friend. That's a good Jamaican friend.
Sometimes Appleton is accompanied by ginger ale. Other times not. I know I'm going to get sick. I mean, it's taken on a life of its own. It has legs. It has everything. Wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just out of my
But
mind.
how do you feel about you seeing so far, though?
What I'm seeing so far.
Yeah. On the stage.
Well, you see,
or the
and
rehearsal hall,
that
yeah.
is causing the tension, because when I looked at how seriously these people are taking me, and that they're working so hard, and Christine is going after them, and the music and everything, I'm saying, oh my God, what have I done? I wonder if I could pull this out. I mean, it's
I
just-
understand the feeling though. I mean, as
like
a
adrenaline,
producer
adrenaline.
myself, I can I understand the feeling.
Yeah.
I remember when I took on something like Jesus Christ Superstar. It was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
what have I done?
What have you
Exactly.
What have I done?
thinking?
What have I done? It's
I think we started rehearsals or the auditions like that, saying, what is this addiction? Why do we put our
Yeah.
lives on the
We do it all
line?
the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
We
mean,
do.
last year I produced 2 plays, right? Both of them. Well, after the second play, I was sick. I mean, totally sick. I had stomach problems. I had medication. I had to go to Boston. I said, why am I doing this thing again? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I
It's a
was thinking
compulsion.
today that we are of that era in terms of whether it's Walcott or Minchell or who, sorry Minch, but we go until we drop.
Yeah.
Right.
We give it our all.
Yeah.
I think it's
No,
harden.
Hard. Well, that's one way of putting
That's
it.
one
but
way of
it's-
putting it, but it's
that's the
yeah.
generation.
It's in your blood. It's
Yep.
Yes, it's in your blood. It's
Yeah.
as if you don't have this challenge,
Yeah.
your life is nothing.
And
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
do
I agree
it
with that.
until
Yeah.
you cannot do anymore.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, Christine, for you,
Yeah.
because this was written in 1950
I think it's 58.
something, originally 50
Yeah, I
something
think
was
it's
written.
58 was done in 59, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Something like that.
So, doing this play in
Yeah.
2015
Yeah. Yeah.
with people who might have never experienced, maybe
Yeah.
even have known of Walcott
No.
before.
Yeah. Some of the younger ones
Right.
had no experience of
So
working
how?
with
What
her.
is the process like for you in this?
Well, I mean, to me, Tijan is timeless. Of course, it is a fairy tale. It's a Caribbean fairy tale, and a fairy tale is timeless.
right.
And it's a fairy tale, and from day one of the auditions, I told the cast, even from the minute they came in, we are telling a story. This is a fairy tale, and not a Disney.
Right. Thank you.
Not a
Thank
sanitized.
you.
It is the ones with the witches and the ogres and the those kinds of fairy tales, the real fairy tales,
Right.
which had the folklore characters, the European in that case folklore characters,
Before they got touched up.
exactly
And polished.
and yes, and all
And
of a sudden,
airbrushed.
Yes.
And airbrushed.
Yes.
and everybody lived happily ever after.
Because
And it's
I
like,
always
you know,
talk about Little Mermaid.
yeah.
At the end, she dead for she fastness.
Yes, of
She's a
course.
mermaid. Stay a mermaid.
Yeah,
She
you know.
turned to foam for she fastness. You know, and I love that.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of thing that happen. No. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go on.
You know, those are real things, and an interesting thing that happened in part of the rehearsal process too, when we began to explore this, was talking about our folklore and the fact that, you know, the fact that a lot of the stories that our parents told us was to really to scare us to stay inside and behave.
Right, yes.
And that's where they come from. It's about almost a parenting tool. I remember one character, Curtis Gross, talking about his mother. They used to live in Maruga, and you know, well, Maruga has all of its own kind of air of, you know, magic and stuff like that. And she used to tell him that Dwen was living down the road and things like that. And you know, Sukuya and will come and suck you under your foot and things like that. And I mean, these are things that, yes, to get children to listen to you and be, but also there's a kind of wonder and a magic and a kind of a thing that we're losing. You know, that we need to hold on to that.
Lovely,
you know,
lovely.
you need to hold on to that.
I remember studying this play when I was at university,
Mm-hmm.
and I never saw it. Never saw Tisha and his brothers. And I do remember there was a discussion about the themes and blah 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 blah. And I remember telling Raul, I said, Raul, all this thing about colonialism, whatever, to me this is about magic.
Yeah.
For me, I say for me it's magic.
Yeah.
But some people see it as a lot of colonial
Of course, you
issues
could
and
you
so
could
on.
take it apart. I could see how you could analyze it down to the core and talk about, you know, the slavery and the oppression of the white this and
Planter.
and all kinds of stuff. I can see how you can do that. But to me, that if you do the play well enough, that is evident. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to reinforce it.
But-
It's there. You know.
But the truth is that most of the fairy tales that we've been brought up on, you know, the princess and the pea and all that,
Yeah.
they had undertones,
Of course,
social
all of them.
commentary.
Yes, all of them
you
had-
know?
yes.
So
Yeah.
this is, in this case, it's no different really,
Yes.
except that our undertone is not really very, very nice, especially that certain segment of the society.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
True, you know.
But it's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
saying, you know, things that like instinct and common sense.
Right, exactly.
Overcomes big bad evil.
Yeah.
You know, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah. I mean,
basic.
that's one of the major themes. But it's also that, you know, okay, strength alone
That's
won't
Yes.
get you through.
Right.
Brains alone, or
Right.
book sense rather, will not get you through. You know, sometimes you need to work it out. You know, that kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
you know, don't depend on physical or mental necessarily, but alone it needs to, you know, you need to work it out. You need to work through situations.
Okay, cool. Now, what is interesting with this again, Brenda, you're good, you know, because you're doing the cast. How big is your cast?
It's right now, I think we're 15.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And
And
a
4
band.
dancers.
Right, I thought you were the band.
15 cars, 4 dancers, and a band.
so there's a big cast. Say it again.
No.
All right.
And don't say my creatures.
You want
Don't say the
Brenda not to sing
creatures.
into you brought the Appleton.
And the creatures dancing too, you know.
Oh yes.
So you have dance happening in this production, and I saw Carol do some of the work, and it's a lot of movement, and you have a band,
And you have singing.
and you have singing.
Singing.
Musical.
But it's not a musical.
It's a play with music. I consider it a play with music, yeah.
So although I'm throwing it at you, Brenda, but if you really go to you, Chrissy,
Yeah,
how are you doing
yeah.
with all of this, and you have 2 more weeks. How are you doing all of these
Pull
different
it
things?
together.
This is
My
what we
God.
call lacing up the corset now. That's where we go. That is where the last
That's where
2
we
weeks
take
is
out
about pulling in you pulling in the breath and tying it tight.
Okay.
It's
That's
just to
right.
tie up all the loose ends.
And you take out the
Okay.
whip. Crack the
Okay,
whip.
okay. But how do you, in the sense of bring it together? Because something I always wonder about.
Yeah.
Because a director would have a vision. The writer has a vision. The choreographer has a vision. The music person has a vision.
Yeah.
And how do you go about getting what it is you want, because at the end of the day is what you want. How do you go
Yeah.
about talking that talk? And I don't know.
With this production, I find I've been particularly lucky because Carol and I seem to be on the same wavelength.
Literally.
And it's not been a problem.
Okay.
Relon, I'm new to Relon, but Relon has been delivering.
This is Relon Brown.
Relon
Yeah,
Browns, yeah. He's the musical director. I'm new to him. His working style is a little unorthodox for me, but he is coming through, and the band is coming together. And he told me that they're having rehearsal. We're having the first actual band rehearsal with the group this weekend.
Okay.
So, but all of this stuff is coming together. He's been coming down and teaching the songs and stuff like that. So it's pulling together. And yeah, we've talked as well about how certain things, and we just seem to agree as well,
Okay,
because
okay.
there's certain parts that were sung in the last production that I didn't want sung this time. You know, yeah, it's a little too, you know, and he agrees. He seemed to agree with most of it. So it's been a lucky lucky kind of fusion of
Nice.
energies.
I want to talk something to Carol here, because I've thrown it to you before, and to, Carol, all the guests I've had on this show before, not all, but the majority of them, some way along the line, they go to mention Walcott. Most of my guests who have come on this show. And I had to ask the question, what was it about Walcott that made him what he is, this legend he is? I want to throw it to you. What
made
what's
him a
about
legend?
Walcott?
Is this a children's show?
Stop it.
What made him a legend?
Yeah.
Well, I could simply say that he won a Nobel laureate. That's not enough. But
Well,
In
to affect the people of theatre so much years after he's left this country, people still hold him with such reverence.
well, it's a body of work, isn't it? It's right there for the taking. You can demand the proof.
Okay.
Is right there. Apart from the fact that he has climbed so many other mountains, it's not only that he's written books
Yes,
or poetry.
painted.
He's painted.
Yeah.
He's and
Yeah.
always excelled.
Yeah.
Plus, as a mentor, and I always say, I didn't have a dancer for a mentor. I had Derek, a dramatist coming back from England with all my point work and my ballet training, and here I go and join a theatre workshop. So it's pure drama. But I learned so much because I had to work fast. Fast is one thing, but this is new work, and the challenge was great. It served me in good stead for my entire life. It meant that you had a choice and the chance, the opportunity to interpret new
Yes, new
work.
work.
That's an
Right.
amazing place
Yeah.
to be at as a young choreographer,
Right.
So don't tell me I've been through it,
Right. New meaning original.
Original.
Yeah, right.
And write and rewrite, Brenda.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You know, one-
Let me tell you something. Well, we did mostly his work, okay? And we would be doing a play on the boards, okay?
Yeah.
People pay to see it there in the audience.
Yeah.
And the play going on. And next night he comes with a page. And he would say, forget that. You see what you said yesterday? Forget about it. Here, this is what I want you to say tonight.
But it
Oh
doesn't
my
get more
goodness.
exciting than that.
Yeah. this
Because
what I
work
want
is
you to
being
say
created.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we had a
Yeah.
Errol Pilgrim, God rest his soul.
Yes. Yes.
Had a way he used to say, Derek writes and we act. He rewrites and we react.
I love it. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
I want to quickly ask Carol. Because you are new, I'm harassing you.
I realize. Hot seat
Okay,
for me.
because there are people who knew of Walcott, who live in Walcott's time, who would come because it's a Walcott play,
Sure.
right? There are those who go to theatre now who are not familiar with the work of Walcott. This is what had me a bit concerned last when you mentioned doing Walcott. And talk about the theatre audience of now, and would they come to see Walcott? Why should they come to see Walcott, in your opinion? I'll ask the three of you, but I'm going by Carol
Why
first.
should they come?
Why should they?
One, you're looking at a stellar production team. Brenda, Christine, myself. Yeah, hello. You are looking at the actors that we have. They're wonderful little people. I mean, they're little to me, they're young to me, but they're out there. They've got resumes, they've got followings as well. When you think Walcott, you think literary genius. This is no small, accolade. Come on. So if you put all of those things together, you have to be at least curious.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yes.
Well said.
Yeah.
So I want to jump to
Yeah.
Christine.
Yeah.
Christine,
Yeah.
I know your cast was selected via audition.
Yes.
And I think you did 3 or 4 hours?
We did 2 and a callback, was it? Or did we do 1 and a
I
callback?
think you did 3 and a
You did
callback.
3. You went on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I know.
Appleton.
That wasn't exactly Brenda's cup of tea.
Well,
but I,
You did have auditions and callbacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and I was part present for some of
yeah,
the auditions.
yeah.
And I was surprised to see so many people who came.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know how they got word of it. Some people
Right.
wasn't involved in theatre at all.
Right.
Came. But
In fact, the Theatre Buzz callboard, the Facebook page, he said we had the most hits ever.
okay.
366 people.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
Yes.
What?
Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I want to know, from that screening process and sifting and
Mm-hmm.
diluting and straining, who is your cast?
Okay, let's start with Tijan. I have alternates for Tijan. No, because I liked the delivery of both gentlemen, but in a different light.
Okay.
We have Mohammed
Mawakil.
Mawakil. Sorry, I always get his name
I
wrong.
would bite my tongue. Yeah.
People may know him from Freetown
Yeah.
Collective.
And his poetry work.
And
as
his
well.
poetry work. And Mark Nottingham, who is an actor who's been around for quite a while. He's been on film, on stage, etc. Those are both, they are alternate Tijans. So you'll see either one or the other on any particular night. And the other alternate that we have are the mother characters, because again, both of them brought a different quality to the character. So I wanted to work with both of them. It's Leslie Ann Levine, who broke onto the scene a couple of years ago, if you
yes.
remember. All of a
Yeah,
sudden,
she
stellar stage manager,
Yeah,
and
she
then
was
all of a
stage
sudden
manager.
turned star.
Yeah. She always just say, all I want to act.
Yes.
All I want, and they say, okay, let me get you out, let me get you out.
And she was, yes,
She showed them.
She hasn't looked back
Me go
since.
back to that thing at all. Acting now, yeah.
Yes, so she's one of the mothers, and Danielle Lewis, who is younger and so on, but has a quality. She really, in the audition, she really did touch me. I felt something, and she has a different kind of quality. So I wanted to try those 2 mothers. Everybody else, we have understudies as well, but the other lead characters are Mija is Nikolai Salcido, who is an excellent
Yes.
actor, who's been on film, on stage,
Yeah.
and actually he was with us in the early in Jesus Christ Superstar
Okay.
as well. Yeah, I know Nikolai from then. Our Grosjean is Curtis Gross, who's kind of reprising the role from the last production. He's well-known
He's been
actor.
the same role?
Huh?
He's
Yes,
been the
same role.
Okay.
He's a fine actor, great presence and stuff on stage, and he's pretty well known generally.
And when you think of Curtis Gross, you think of power and
Yes.
strength and bigness, and
Yes.
he has his voice.
Yes, he does.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I think
Alright.
you had voice too, but anyway,
okay.
I wouldn't go on with that.
Right. Okay.
Gross.
Yes. Then we have I'll leave the guy for last. We have the animals, which are the frog. That's Asha Shepherd. She's-
Hold on. You did Tisha, Grosjean, Misha?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the mother.
Right.
Oh, so I'm going on to the animals. Well, I could say the bolum as well. The
Right.
bolum is the unborn fetus, as you know, which is like the devil's spawn, the
Yes.
devil's sidekick kind of thing, and a lovely role to play. And that's Tishana Williams, who was recently, I think the last thing she was in was The Wiz last
Okay.
year.
Actually-
but she'll speak up for herself later, I
Actually,
guess.
when I did
But she-
study that play, that was the part I wanted to do.
Yes,
Bola.
yes, the bolum is a...
If I say ever do
Yeah.
that play, I want to play Bola.
Yeah.
I'm too old now.
Well, an unborn fetus, you mightn't quite know. Yeah, okay.
Go on. Go on, yes.
Yeah, but she's the bolum. Then we have the animals. So we have the frog. I was saying frog is the narrator, so she's also a pretty lead character. Asha Shepherd just blew us away in this audition.
Right.
We had never. Other people came who better known name, so to speak, to try the role. But she came with a simplicity and an interpretation of the role that was just amazing.
And the
very
frog is
natural.
the narrator.
He's the narrator character.
Right.
She's the only one that actually got an action that went with the and it just worked.
Yeah.
And she delivered beautifully.
Okay.
So she nailed that against other people who I tell you were quite experienced,
right.
but good. We have the Firefly is Ruby Paris. She's also a new young talent coming out. She was in Salt recently, and that's what I know. But
Okay.
she also, again, a quality in that audition that was just so right,
Right.
you know. Nyla Blackman Thornhill, she is Abby Blackman's daughter, I should just mention. But she's, again, very young, lovely, fresh talent. We just saw quality in her. A bird. And I mean, she again, lovely quality. She, in the audition, she pulled out her guitar and started to sing and just blew us away as well. She has an amazing voice.
Fabulous voice.
And the cricket is Jesus Patterson. He's a dancer with the UTT, just graduating from UTT. I also work with Jesus in West Side Story, and I think Brenda had worked with him before.
Randy by too.
Yes, he's quite a character himself, quite a spirit.
Yes.
But he has, from the time we saw him move at the audition, we knew he had the cricket characteristics. He certainly has that down, so he's good. And so we come to, well, what in essence is the lead, even though it's Tisha and his brothers, but the lead character is the devil.
Right.
It's actually the devil is three characters. It's the old man, stroke Papa Bois, the planter, and the devil himself.
Right.
So it's a very challenging role. It's
By one person.
played by one person, and that person is Aaron Schneider, who we should also mention did some incredible set and costume designs for this show. In fact, he was initially only supposed to be the set and costume designer. But we had him read The Devil a Day. And, he nailed it. From that reading, we just knew that he had to do The Devil. So, so he's really, really stretched to the max. But he's coming through. And I'm telling you, his Devil is going to be amazing.
Lovely.
He has the old man. He has two types of planters, because what happened with me when I was reading the script, I don't know if anybody's done it before. I noticed they didn't do it. John didn't do it. But when I read the language, the first planter to me was very American. The second planter was very British. And because he mentions cotton and cane, I decided to play him like that. So he's even more schizophrenic. So he's an American planter, a British planter, an old man, and a devil, right?
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, yeah.
All right. So having heard who your cast is, I think I want to take a break and meet a few of your cast members face to face. And we're back to face, and here I am with the young, enthusiastic cast of Tisha and his brothers. Now, some I have known over the years, some I'm meeting for the first time, but I must say I'm impressed with all of you.
It's nice to meet you for the first time.
So, just call the names, please, and so I don't want to misquote anybody. You are?
Ruby Paris.
Who are you playing?
I play the Firefly.
The Firefly.
Tashana Williams. I'm playing the Bolam.
Nyla Blackman. I'm playing the Bird.
Nikolai Salcedo. I play Misha.
Muhammad Muwakil. I play Tijan.
Right, Mohammed, Nikolai, Nyla, Tishana, Ruby.
Yes.
I did very well. Very well I did. I did it backwards as well. Okay. I want to go to the younger ones first, really and truly.
Were you watching me side eye when you say that? You know I hold a zero though. I don't understand.
Oh Lord, they give me trouble here. Okay, this is, I know this is your first time doing, is it theatre, Nyla?
Yes, it is.
How did you end up in this? Cause I think you sing, if I'm correct.
Yes, I sing.
How you end up in this thing, this bacchanal?
Well,
theatre is bacchanal.
Well, I always wanted to do theatre. I always wanted to do some form of acting, just to try. And I was on my way home and I heard an ad saying looking for singers and actors for a play, and I was like, oh, I could sing, I'll go and audition to sing. And not knowing it was singing and acting together, but I did it anyway because I was just really looking forward to doing something new,
And how's it going for you?
It's going fantastic. I love the whole experience.
Okay.
Even the buffs?
Yes, even the buffs.
Well, I do this much.
Very quiet.
All right, okay. So that's a new experience for you, and so on. All right, Ruby, what about you? I don't know Ruby at all, theatre-wise, so I don't know. Did I miss you at all on the stage?
Well, no, not really, actually. This is my first production outside of my degree in UE, and it's the first professional production I'm part of.
Okay, so you are a UE grad?
No, I'm graduating next year.
Okay, very nice. So how is this for you in the real world? And it's not nice and softy, touchy.
No, it's not. It's not all frills and glam like I thought.
Carol.
It's proven to be quite a challenge. It's not what I expected at all. I mean,
in what way?
I'm not gonna bust any files now. But honestly, the experience has been tremendous. The journey itself is one of growth that if I had been in another production, I probably would not have experienced in the same way. Strictly because playing an animal in general is something that would probably give any actor a true challenge. Because you don't have as many lines, you're using body language majority of the time, and we have a fantastic choreographer who for sure pushes me to the limits in being an animal. So it really forces me as an actor to do a lot of internal work, a lot of research, a lot of bringing something new to the table, thinking outside of the box, that my choreographer is always there to guide me and mold me and assist in any way I can.
Okay, so I've been to a few rehearsals and I've seen many a times you all do a little something, whatever. Christian is directing the actors, whatever, and you all fit on and then fit off the animals, right? And then I see Carol will usher you all outside. She ushers you all outside. I said, give you all instructions. I see through the louvers, you all are doing some little thing. What was going through your mind at that time?
Oh God, most of the time.
God, give me a chance now.
Honestly, like
Peter's not here.
Every time we go on and we come off, immediately we expect we're going to be critiqued. Immediately, it's understood. And then Carol comes to us without any drop, any beat, and she comes and she pulls us outside, and we're like, here it comes. We're going to get buff.
But it's for the better.
It's always for the better.
Actually, I've seen you all from the beginning, and I've seen you all, I think I came last week, and I saw the week before I was there, and I really saw you all doing some wonderful animals. You all look like animals. Don't take it the wrong way. But you all really should look really into the part and really fitting around and very, very nice.
Thank you.
And light on your feet. Very nice.
Thank you, Carol.
So I move on to Tishana. Tishana, girl, I like it bad. Well, she too, Mike. This is the paparazzi or something. All right, but Tishana, I like it bad. I like it bad. I saw you. I mentioned it. I remember seeing you in a theatre workshop doing Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
A Midsummer
Night's Dream.
And you all were fantastic. And I always say, if ever I'm doing a show, if I'm brave again like Christine is to come out from after hiatus, and I want to have you doing a show because the whole cast was wonderful. I'm coming to you too. I'm coming to you.
Nikolai was in it as well.
Yeah, he was in it as well. But really, actually, it was wonderful. So you are now doing another legendary person's work, a Caribbean legend, from Shakespeare to Walcott.
Yes, indeed.
How is that walk?
It's not hard, and I could actually tell you why. The walk from I would say the walk from Walcott, using Walcott as a kind of overarching thing for Caribbean theatre to Shakespeare was a lot harder. I think any walk in theatre is easy once you have a good team and a good director behind you. So even though a lot of people came up to me after I played Hermia and was like, "Oh my God, it was so great," you know, I always remember to say a lot of it and a lot of the understanding of that role and everything like that really came from working with the director, Tamir Feldman. And you can't discredit that. You have to have a good team, a good director, a good vision, that sort of thing behind you. And I have that now with Tisha as well. So the walk is not hard. And what made the walk a lot easier for me in terms of getting a handle on the context of the play, because the walk to the character is a totally different thing. That is never easy. Yeah. But the context of the play was because I come from the Department of Creative and Festival Arts.
Me too. Me too.
And, you know, and once there, you have no choice but to immerse yourself in Caribbean theatre. Your projects, your everything is chorus, lavway, context of theatre in the Caribbean, everything. So you have to walk through Walcott, you have to walk through Dennis Scott, you have to walk through Davlin, you have to walk through these people, you have to know names like Carol LaChapelle. You can't go through the program and not know these things. So because of that, the walk to the play is not hard. The walk to the character is a different walk, but I don't think it's hard. I'm playing the bolam, which is a even different talk. Sorry, mommy, for using bad English. We get it. It's an even different.
I was telling Christine earlier that I had to study this play when I was at UE a while back, and the one character I wanted to play really and truly was the bolam. I found the bolam nice. Reason being, you behave yourself across. I come to you just now.
Sorry, the adjective.
Nice. But I remember one of the persons in my class who did it as presentation covered themselves in a sheet, and they were just a form of blob, and they were all over the floor. That stuck in my brain. Bolam, and they wanted me to audition for this play, to audition for another part. You know? But Bolam was on my mind, but that's when the young talent come. I said, leave them alone. Let them have the moment. You know? Otherwise, Tishana.
Very generous of you, Eric.
Right? Otherwise, Tishana.
So much.
I want the young ones have the opportunity. But what is the Bolam like for you? Is that actually like a character with a background per se? You do research from Laventille, with mother and a father, brothers. What is your research work for Bolam?
So I'm gonna preface this by I really had no idea the role I was doing. It's only after I got cast as the Bolam that I realized the Bolam people really like the Bolam. I did not know, right? So because when people said, "Oh, you didn't teach us," so who played the Bolam? I was like the question all the time. So I was like, okay. So people just come to us. Then it's like, oh shucks, oh God. So that was the added pressure. They think like, oh, okay, so it's not just the beginning and the end of the show. People actually like. I don't think the Bolam doesn't have a backstory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with that. I don't think the Bolam does not have a backstory. I think the Bolam has the backstory. The Bolam has the backstory of almost every person at some point in their life, and the Caribbean on a whole. The Bolam is that essence of wanting to be things that you either cannot be because people fighting you down, or you can't be because you don't feel like that's ordained in your life. I mean, I don't know anybody who can say they've never had an experience of wanting something and not being able to get it for whatever reason. And because of that, the bolam could be any backstory. So that's where I come from with it. The real hard thing about the bolam for me is the movement, because I made a mistake and asked her wrong. I was like, how the bolam? And I realized a lot of dancers played it, and I realized very early on in life, that I'm not the dancer. I can dance, but it's my least trained thing. I've done a lot more music and theater.
Show off.
Yeah, but if I do a dance class for 6 months, I'll come and take your work if it's a dance.
Thank you. You're acting and you put it and you
making it clear.
Right.
So I think it's going to be interesting for me simply because I think that is something I could bring to it, that element of I'm not a dancer, and just working with Carol and going through the script and realizing that kind of brokenness, So it's definitely a stretch for me.
What I want to ask you, for my listeners who are international, I do have international listeners. International listeners. Thank you. I got Snickers.
Hey, how are you? I don't know where you're from. For them who have never read the play and they're hearing bolam, what is that? What is a bolam? In the play, you have the lovely household, and then you have the devil, and the devil has minions. And in the play, the devil's almost right-hand minion for this mission is the bolam. So the bolam really and truly is represented by a fetus. It's an unborn fetus that was aborted by the mother. And I'm going to think, just knowing Caribbean history and that sort of thing, that, that thing of being aborted and being unborn, it was sent to hell.
Yeah.
No baptism, no nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder.
and so therefore the devil has decided now to use the bolam to go and basically, torture this lovely family and to give his message to the family, this challenge. So the bolam is the terrorizing aspect of the thing, as well in the end things happen too. You have to come see the play if you want to see that. So book your tickets.
Right. So I want to jump across quickly here to the men. I'll go to Nikolai Salcedo first. Nikolai, who are you playing?
Mija.
And who's Mija?
Mija is his second brother, second most stupid.
Second brother of whom?
of the three brothers, Tija, Mija, and Groja.
They don't know, that. So
sorry,
three brothers.
I'm sorry, sir.
Three brothers.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the character, there's a mother who has, I think she's impoverished, and she has three sons, Groja, Mija, and Tija.
Yeah.
And you are the middle brother.
Yeah.
Or the middle son.
Yeah.
And who is he?
Well, Mija really is. Mija is the guy that thinks he knows everything. Actually, I don't think so anymore. I retract that.
You retract it.
I think, honestly, deep down inside, he would know that he does not know everything, but I think he has this whole thing going on in his head. But anyway, outwardly, he's the guy that thinks he knows everything. He's a scholar of nothing.
Yes.
So he's actually quite dumb. It's like I was having a conversation with Muhammad and Naila outside, as if you think you know, you don't know, right?
No.
Those are
I was being silly.
if you think you know everything, then you don't really know, right? And I think that's basically who he is. He thinks he's this wise guy. He gets his head swollen easily from the time the devil says, Mija, the avocat, the litigant, and he's like, oh my God, yes. Because he's like, yes, recognize I'm a litigant that lives in the bush. And reads random books that have nothing to do with anything.
Wow.
But I don't know simple law terms.
Reads one book.
Right.
That has everything in it.
Yeah.
It's a dictionary, really.
So I'm going to talk about you, Nikolai, a bit about you, Nikolai Salcedo.
Okay, sir.
To me, you are a surprise to me. When I say surprise, you have reinvented yourself in my eyes several times over the years I've known you.
Yeah.
You have. I think one time you did have a ras.
Yes.
Correct.
One
time you were a teacher, she was in shirt and tie going down Cuba. I live Cuba.
Yeah.
As I say, but
this man is tracking you. I don't mean in that sense. I mean like this man is like
I live Cuba.
Following you around.
I live Cuba.
So watch yourself, Nikolai.
So he was going to work. So I'm going to work and he's going to work, and I'm like, Nikolai, in shirt and tie and dressed and thing after the Rasta period, I think it was.
No, that was
before.
I started my Rasta while I was teaching, and then I left teaching.
Then you were very into artsy looking kind of thing as well before the teaching thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you left the teaching. Then I didn't know you were an actor. Then I saw you on stage acting and you did a very good job. And it's like, you just don't stop.
Well, why?
So that's really interesting. But your acting, I mean, I must commend you. You're good.
Oh, thanks, man. No, of course not.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where did that come from? That natural? Did you train? Where did that come from?
Man,
you have something that a lot of people wish they had as an actor.
Yeah.
I won't call names.
I don't know.
There's some people in theater in Trinidad who shouldn't be on the stage at all.
Yeah.
I won't call the name.
I don't go down that road.
I won't call the name. I know. They better.
I'm pretty sure there are people that think I don't belong on the stage.
No. I'm saying these people. They better as a producer.
Yeah.
They better as producer than being on stage. Oops. Right. Go on.
Right.
It's me, he did.
Not you, man. Not you. But go on. Yes. But did you train? This is natural.
I went to UE and I started. When I started UE, I was doing a bachelor's degree in visual arts. But I was also trying to do a minor in theater arts, which I quit because somewhere along the line I think they were offering Calypso as a course, and I was like, well, I don't want to do any more theater arts courses. I want to try something else. And from there the reinvention began. But I think by and large my training has just been that little bit of stuff. For me, experience is the real training, you know.
Okay.
And I'm a bit weird. I like to sit down and watch people a lot.
No, that's part of being an actor, is to observe and put it in a file.
And since I was a little boy, I would sit down in a corner of a room. I do it today too. But I tend to sit down and just observe everybody and just mimic them under my breath. Just
interesting.
Copy.
Nice.
So I think that's my training as an actor.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Mohammed. You are another one who surprised me too, eh? Over the years, because I saw you as a poet at first. Poet. Then sometime I think it was a Chicana show when I see him on stage. Was Chicana? And he was singing or something, so I said, and here bad. Yeah, okay. Then somewhere else I got to see acting. I said, hey. You know, so you are another one who, you didn't reinvent yourself, but I got to know you in stages. All right? Where did the acting come from? I didn't want acting, because I could talk about acting. The poetry, I think I can talk about that, but that acting part, you just tried it and it worked for you?
Just like Nikolai, growing up, I used to imitate all kinds of voices. And my father, not coming from an art background or theatre or anything like that of that sort, my father's a wasserman from whenever.
Okay.
And he would always be like, stop that Mickey Mouse Japanese thing, you know, always, because I was always imitating and always playing the fool.
Right.
You know, well, we say playing the fool here in the Caribbean, and time say try and playing the fool, but they don't realize it's a type of intelligence now.
Right.
You know, and they're doing something that's very valuable
Right.
to them later on in life if you would just show them it now. So
Right.
for me, I think it's the same thing. I used to imitate everybody. Everybody. I used to imitate accents. Every TV show I watch, I imitated an American accent, a Jamaican accent, an English. I just used to imitate everything all the time. And I don't know, it was a natural progression when I got to UE. And I was doing civil engineering, and then I left civil and I ended up doing theatre for a year. And when I came to DCFA,
your parents thought you were mad, I suppose, right?
yeah, my grandmother didn't talk to me for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I got to the back room where they train. We're doing elements of drama.
Right.
And on this door it said, "We don't work with our shoes in here."
Right.
And I was like, "This is school? This is for real?"
Right.
And that's how I felt at home from there. And then I met Louis and I met Roel Gibbons, and it was just a natural transition. It felt right. Like, yeah, this is good. This feels good. Let's do this. You know. And it always amazes me that we get paid to do this, because it's like,
you're having fun.
Yeah, this is not work. This is what I want to do. I mean, okay, all right. So the long hours, they you feel it, right?
Right.
The critique, you feel it. You have to have a strong constitution and know that it's not about you. You know, you're a piece of clay and somebody's trying to tell you this is what I want you to be. And then you say, well, this is how I feel I should be. And then there's a give and take, and then you find something in the center and say, that's it. So, you know, it's not work in the sense of, oh God, I have to be here. I want to be here. And then there are times of
With passion.
yeah,
Exactly.
love. Love can never really be work.
Okay. Right, so I want to throw this out, and I think I kind of ask you all the question. I want to throw it to you guys. One of you all have seen more years than they have on the earth, I believe. They have, right? They have.
She's 25. So I don't know what you.
I actually have Benjamin's buttons.
Nice try.
Good one.
Wait, that means I'm actually a real old man.
Yes. I am a little bit older than the five of you here.
Just a little bit.
Right? But I grew up at a time when Walcott was happening and theatre workshop was happening, and I was aware of the theatre at that time and so on. And things have changed, and I don't know how much interaction you might have had with that time or the work. How is it for you all to come and do this piece, this classic piece of work, which is different to what you might see in today's theatre?
I've been thinking about this, right? Because for me, I was trying to find reasons why I'm doing things, right? Groja, Mija, and Tija. Now, Tisha, I just spoke about Bolaman. That was really interesting to me because I wasn't really thinking about Bolaman in that sense, right? But Groja, Mija, and Tija represent archetypes of how Caribbean people have survived through colonialism and slavery, as far as I'm concerned, right? So there's the Grosjean who felt that he could just power through and work and no matter what they do, man, I just going down, and that even manifests itself today in sometimes the public servants of Trinidad and Tobago who just take any kind of thing and whatever and go through. And then you have the philosopher who thinks that he could, he can through thinking and higher manifestation of things, he could work through the system and whatever. And then you have the Tijans who know that, hey, I can't win like that. I have to outwit it. And strangely enough, those are the ones who sometimes end up being criminals and all that kind of thing because of the way the system's set. But for me, that's how I made it make a lot of sense for me to do the work, because I realized just how much in context it still was, and I guess will always be
for society. Anything different for you?
To me, coming to this play, it's been really strange because I've never read the play before. I've heard about the play for years, and to be quite honest, I've being the kind of hermit that I am, I anytime people talk about something for a little bit too much, I kind of run in the next direction. But coming to it now, I would agree with Mohammed that I think watching the three brothers, for me, they do represent that. They do represent that basic. I mean, it's like how Christine wanted, like from the time Christine said she wanted to approach it like a fairy tale, I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense, right? Because I mean, it's the characters are pretty much, they're not one-dimensional, but they have a very, like I go to rehearsals every day and I tell at least one person a day, this feels so much like Walt Disney. I just say it because it feels like that, and it's like the devil is the bad guy, and these three brothers are trying to make meet his challenge and whatnot. When I really look at it, the devil isn't really bad. She's not. If you really listen to some of the things he says, he's just a lonely guy, right? So for me, watching the whole play, I feel as though, it's actually very, very pertinent in terms of society on the whole and all those types of things. I think the play is really deep, and which for me is an amazing thing to get without being too overly intellectual.
Okay, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That for me is like, the play is a bloody pop song, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a pop song because it managed to distill everything into like this very concise and, it's not long at all. It's not Shakespeare. It's not long-winded. Right. It's just to the point, and that for me is what draws me more and more to it every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you have done theatre. Tishan have done theatre. You have studied. You have jumped in. Just want to ask. I think you kind of answered it here, but I just want to throw it out to all of you. What, in your experience so far, didn't you expect? What didn't you expect?
Christine's style of directing is different, and everyone that you work with, their style is different. Even Carol's style of teaching dance, because Carol is creating with you as a thing, and it's almost like you are existing in her head, and you have to accept that you exist in her head. Okay. You don't actually exist. So don't take it personal. You're not a thing until the thing is done. When the thing is done and you have learned the thing, you have now become a thing. And then you may have an opinion about the thing. Right? Christine, in the beginning, I wouldn't lie, I was kind of unhappy because I was like, why isn't she telling us more? Like, what? Okay, am I doing this right? I don't even know. Is this good? Is this any good at all? Like, why is she not directing? Why are everybody sitting and watching me? And then you realize, okay, you didn't get chosen haphazardly. Right. I saw something. All right. Let me see how much of it. Okay, expand it. Okay, play here. All right, let me see thing. I strongly suspect that if he was doing real shit, she would have just pulled you aside and be like, okay, I don't know if you're gonna work out. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
Please leave. But
she didn't, and then now it's like, okay, all right, we have the raw material, and we doing it. Because with Carol, it's like, you think it's all this madness, and then all of a sudden, the whole dance just appear. You're like, wait, we just do the whole dance. Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Ruby? What didn't you expect? What's your Carol, eh?
But it's so true.
It's the only truth.
To be honest, I didn't know what to expect because I've done productions within UE, yes, but because it's within UE, you have that familiar environment. You have people that you've built a relationship with before already. But entering this experience, I don't know these people on a personal level, and it's something that I was just very open-minded about. I was ready for anything. I expected buff, I expected cuss, I expected anything, but
what about push-ups and sit-ups?
I would be very honest right now. I'm grateful for it. I'm real grateful for the workouts, because if it wasn't for that, I would probably be a couch potato right now. Because the sit-ups, the push-ups, the stretching, honest to God, like, I feel real accomplished when I reach that 50 sit-ups. I feel real good.
Okay,
I mean,
nice.
and working with them honestly has been an honor, because working with Christine, I have never experienced a style either, and I quite enjoy it. I love that she gave us the freedom to do what we wanted to with the characters, and then afterward we did it again, but she just gave like here and there, maybe you could try this. She never said do this. She says try this. So we'll see if it works. I love that. Same thing with Carol. When we first started choreography, she said bring anything and I'll work with it. Bring anything and I'll mold it. Afterward, of course, because I just happened to be that firefly that just
fire.
Yeah. I don't know, boy. I gave real trouble.
But you got it now.
But I got it now, and that's what matters. At the end of the day, you and the choreographer, or you and the director can see eye to eye on something.
Nice.
And that's what, to me, is the best part of this whole process. I'm not looking forward to it ending, to be honest.
Okay, nice. Tishana?
Nyla?
That's for Nyla. That's for Nyla? What anything that because I know some people see have your things in your mind. Okay, I'm gonna do a play, but and then I didn't expect this. What is it about?
Well, if it was one thing I didn't expect the music to be the last thing we do in for a musical. That is what I didn't expect. But everything else, I kind of just had an open mind, as Ruby said.
Nice.
I had no idea how it was going to be because I've never actually done a play before. I had no clue.
Okay.
Like, she still did stuff before, so I had no clue how anything was going to be. So I was just open and in for anything. But that was the only thing that I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Salcedo.
For me,
don't mince your words.
I will not.
Yes.
Yeah, because I have a stern. This is going to be a little bit harsh.
Oh God.
It won't be harsh. Actually, I've worked on enough productions. I've worked with some horrible directors and some really good ones. I've worked with so many people thus far that I know not to expect anything. So I come in trying to be an empty slate.
Okay.
And just because for me as an actor, my job is to be paint and let everybody paint me how they want to paint me on that canvas. Right. But I managed to fall so hopelessly in love with everybody in the production, which is amazing.
Okay.
That's amazing. Because anybody that knows me know that I real weird and kind of grouchy, and right. But
that's how you used to look, really and truly. I won't lie to you.
I can't help it.
I just see you from afar. I think once somebody say, okay, I was like, oh, a disposition that kind of on edge. You're right. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. And your brother is so different to you.
Really?
Your brother.
Mikael?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a different chalk and cheese. Always with a big smile. And so, but anyway, back to you.
Yeah, yes. But I mean, like.
So what did you expect to find this camaraderie that happened with you with this guy?
Well, the thing is, it's weird. Every production I enter into, by the end of it, I managed to find myself in a nice vibe with everyone. But I came into this, I got a weird vibe from everybody from day one. Probably a weird vibe caused by myself. And I was really just staring at mirrors or whatever. But I got this weird vibe and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know if it was like Nyla scared me. Well, I know Tashana from before and I know Muhammad from before, so they were like familiar faces, and I was like, okay, well, that's the grounding.
Okay.
Right. But generally, like, people generally scare me.
Okay, nice.
So
that's nice.
Yeah.
It's returned.
Right. But so it was weird to actually reach a point where I was like, okay, great, like I actually like these people, and I look forward to meeting them every day for rehearsal and whatnot. Not just because it's my job, but because it's something I want to do.
Right. Because I have worked in plays. I was telling somebody recently, and you just doing a countdown. 4 more days.
Yes.
3 more days.
Yes.
After that, so it's very good to hear you saying this, huh? Yeah. And usually there's sometimes this person who is in the cast, and you're like, oh God, why did I ever meet this person in life? So whatever. So it's good that you have this experience, and it seems to be across the board.
I also didn't expect that I would actually cut my beard. I don't know why.
Neither did I, man.
Even though in the beginning, when I signed on, they said it. They said you're gonna have to either cut or we'll work out something. That's what was said. Yeah. We work out something. But as I decided to do the role, and I'm looking at Nicola and I'm looking at Curtis, I'm like, to really make this happen, I have to cut my beard off, and then I had to go through a whole process in my own head. So really, actually, that's what I didn't really. I didn't because they don't know this. Nobody don't know. But the night when I was about to cut it, I was like, here's what. I'm gonna tell Christine that I will take a chorus role. No. I'm not even joking. I was gonna tell her that I was gonna take a chorus role and allow Mark to take the lead. Now that I know a lot of the dances and everything, I will take a strong chorus role and I'll keep my bed. But then I'm here. I'm already here.
Okay.
You know,
Very
this is
good.
already we're making some history, so that you make some history. You know.
I think it's wonderful, actually. So, even I say that was wonderful that you did that. It shows your commitment to the art.
Oh, man.
It also, funnily enough, it also, you know, when he made the decision to do it, I could see it in his eyes because he had gotten into Tijan and knew that Tijan wouldn't have this, and I could see it, and he knew it himself. You know, so
yeah. And a lot of people ask me why I didn't cut it closer to the production, but for me,
the process
again is the process. It has to be done now. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's either I'm doing it or I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And I have to do it now because I have to get into Tijan.
And for those of you internationally who do not know Mohammed, all the years I've known Mohammed, he has had a beard.
A very thick beard.
Right? A very thick, long, not long, but a very serious beard. You know, so it's part of his
persona.
Like, persona, like Eric William and the earphone is part of him. So it was amazing.
And the only thing that is making me look like a semi-grown or something.
Okay, stop. Tishani, anything to say, or you still want to pass to? You have anything to say, Tishani?
What Nikolai said? Yeah, what Nikolai said about what he didn't expect.
To happen.
Just the first part, not the rest. I didn't. I really passed because I didn't know what to say until Nikolai said it. I've worked with so many different people by now.
Yeah.
That really, I've worked with worse. I've worked with enough people to know when you're coming into something, don't expect nothing. To the point that when something happens, you're just like, all right, I saw it go. Just one more story to add to the thing. Right. So I passed because I didn't know what to say until Nikolai said.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, what I as an observer, the joy that I've seen of you all is that you have had singer people having to do dancing things, right? Singer people having to do dancing thing, actor people having to sing, right? So you have to explore new areas, which I watch it in amazement, and I love that. Now I want to end, because they can't see your dance. I want to end this with you singing one of the songs that, from the show, if you don't mind.
Sunday morning I went to the chapel.
Ring down below.
I met the devil with the book and the Bible.
Ring down below.
So this is a song.
Ask him what he will have for dinner.
Ring down below.
Cricket leg and a frog with water.
Ring down below.
Leaving home and I have
I
one
want to just say,
mission.
Brenda,
Ring down below.
just let us know.
Come to me by your own
When is the show?
decision.
Show time and dates, and where can they
Down
get
in
tickets
hell
and
you
so on,
await
Brenda?
your vision.
Ring down below.
I go ring down Goliath.
Ring down below.
I go ring down Goliath.
Ring down below.
I go ring down Goliath.
Ring down below.
Okay, this is Eric Barry saying thank you to all of you all. Christine, Carol, Brenda, Ruby, Tishana, Nyla, Nikolai, and Mohammed. Thank you very much for coming on Face to Face, my first Face to Face for 2015. And I was going to join you all and harmonize, but you all finished already. So all I would just say again
Amen.
is thank you very much.
Can I get an amen?
Thank you very much. This is Face to Face.